Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine. Since 1976, boat buyers from all over East Tennessee have made the trip to Madisonville. Nobody from Nashville to Georgia carries more makes and models of boats and cuts more deals than Madisonville Marine. I always say there's no better place to buy a boat. Well, it's because it's true. It's easy to say when it's true, and it's been proven out over more than 45 years. The boat show is coming on here in Knoxville in a few weeks. They'll be up here then, but don't wait. If you want a boat for this spring and summer, you better get in line right now. madmarine.com, Madisonville Marine on Highway 411 North in Madisonville. Okay, 3 rapid-fire questions. We're going to be quick here. Vince, these are all football related. An independent arbitrator ruled this week that UConn must pay former basketball coach Kevin Ollie more than $11 million for improperly firing him. Basically, they fired him for rules violations and tried to get out of paying his buyout. Now he's getting big bucks. Does this tell us anything about whether UT's decision to stiff Jeremy Pruitt will ultimately hold up?
I don't think there's a direct connection, honestly, because it's a little bit different standard. They're dealing with state laws and unions there. And
He's repped by a union.
Right. So they fired him with cause, they thought, but even to the standard of the union, which that's where the arbitrator ruled that they were wrong. I don't think you're going to see it go to those kind of levels for Jeremy Pruitt. Different circumstances, different responsibilities and what was put on him. So I don't think they're connected.
Okay. David, Steve Spurrier awarded his first year's coach award that's named after him to Josh Heupel and Shane Beamer this week. Spurrier said, "I always believed a coach doesn't need 4 or 5 years to get his players in there and build his system. There are a lot of excuse words that coaches like to use, but all of our candidates didn't use any excuse words." All right. First part of this question. Who had the better year? We haven't had you for this question. Who had the better year, Shane Beamer or Josh Heupel?
I mean, I think it's pretty clearly Heupel. I think Heupel inherited a worse situation. There's the whole matter of the on-field meeting between the two teams, which was emphatic, I would say.
Kicking.
I think the way Beamer finished really got him some juice late. The bowl win, beating Florida, all those things. But Tennessee was a better team over the course of the year, and they had a worse roster. And the sharing was very interesting to me. I thought Heupel was clearly better.
Second part of that question. Do you agree with Spurrier that coaches really don't need time to build their programs?
I mean, it's hard to know how much of it is politics and how much of it is reality of like selling, well, it's the other guy's fault that we lost this game or whatever. So like in some ways, yes. I mean, if you want to become elite, at the places that want to be elite, you have to be. But does every coach deserve a year 0 where you can go 3-9 in year 1 and just be like, other guy? No. So somewhere in the middle there. If you want to be great, it's going to take you a few years, but I don't think you can blame everything you did on the past.
I think if you've got a system, you're probably more likely to turn something around quicker. But to me, that sounded like the guy who's the virtuoso pianist saying, "Why can't you play?
Yeah.
Play, just do it." It's a little.
Obviously, he wasn't talking about the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, there we go. Superfan Chuck had to get the shot in. Right. Bobby Scott's applauding somewhere. All right. Tennessee announced this week, Chuck, a home-and-home series with Washington, a school Tennessee has never played before, for the 2029 and 2030 seasons. 2030 is out there in Seattle, and both games can be reached by boat. They're the only 2 schools that can do that. Do you like this addition to the schedule, or would you prefer UT wait to see how the SEC puts Oklahoma and Texas into the mix? What's the SEC schedule going to be? Before you, I'm not done with my question. Before you say we need more Power 5 schools on the schedule, because we have talked about that on this show, that you hadn't exactly been tearing it up with your non-conference schedules. So where are you? Do you like them adding to the non-conference schedule, or would you wait?
When I heard it, I really liked it. Then when I heard it's like, what, almost 10 years away?
Yeah.
Then I'm wondering, do we even know for sure they'll even play by then? I mean,
a lot of these get canceled, yeah.
Exactly.
Tennessee, Ohio State was a series that got canceled.
So while I like playing the Power 5 and somebody you don't play and fans go to the games by boat and all that, I think it's almost too far in the distance to get that excited about it.
And don't forget, playoff expanding, you can get with 3 losses at some point. You want to have those quality wins.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with – I would have said, I don't think you answered it. which is another of your tricks. Do you like the fact that they schedule it, or would you prefer they wait?
I do.
Okay.
That's what I said. I like the
Okay.
fact, but then when I heard how far out it is,
You're
I
not
was
excited about it, but you
right.
prefer that than
Yes.
the wait and see. We could get a bad SEC schedule. Don't schedule tough. Okay, good.
But that was a
More
good
teams are playing more Power 5
Right.
schools.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem adding one, and that's better than Pitt in terms of your big game, or BYU as your big game. I'm good with that, but I'm kind of like you in the fact that I'm tired of the 10 years out. Why? We saw during COVID, hey, we got an opening. You want to get together Saturday? You can do that. There's not a need to do these 15 years out.
Well,
Exactly.
because unfortunately, they haven't changed for their pattern of one Power 5, 2 Group of 5, and 1 FCS for these Power 5 conference, non-conference schedules.
Yeah,
I will
some of the
say-
schools have. I mean, Georgia's going to have 3 Power 5s.
There are a few exceptions.
Yeah.
As a,
Bravo to them.
as a sixth grade geography bee champion, I'm testing my legacy. But I'd like to see someone. You're going to have to go down to the Panama Canal. I read to sail from Seattle to Knoxville. Could you, in theory, do that? I believe you could.
Oh wow, yeah, you could do the whole. I was
Let's
thinking you
do
could
it.
arrive by boat.
Let's do
traveling
it.
the whole route by boat. You go.
Let's
we're
go.
Going around the horn.
If you're doing that,
I'm
Washington,
thinking they
Tennessee fans, if you're doing that,
I'm
so-
thinking they got rental boats available in Seattle.
that's no fun.
Get
That's no
prepared
fun.
with, through Madisonville Marine.
That's right. There we go. Nice job. All right. When we come back, I don't know what we're doing. We'll finish with something UT related. Come on back.